You're watching the Ultimate Football Guide, presented by Studio 9. Watch 9 Overtime every Friday night at 10:15 and watch KTSM 9 News after Sunday Night Football to find out the upcoming game of the week. That's where you'll be able to pick up your very own copy of the Ultimate Football Guide.
Welcome back to our Ultimate Football Guide Borderland football preview for the second consecutive year, guys. We did UTEP, we did New Mexico State. Now the part I'm most excited for, our high school football preview. Joining us from 9 Overtime in the Coda Zone podcast, Ed Stansbury, Jason Flores. So glad to have you guys back as a team for the second consecutive year. Ed, your 9th year on the show. Jason, your 2nd year as a full-time member. Just talk about a little bit your time on the show and how excited you are for this upcoming season, guys.
Well, first, let me take this, Jay. I can't believe 9 years being on the show. It's been so much fun. I can't believe how fast time has gone. But to talk about all the players, all the teams, all the coaches here in the Sun City, and catch all the highlights on Friday night with you guys, man, it's been fun.
For sure. I mean, it's my 2nd year, even though I feel like I've been around for 10 to 12 years. But it's exciting to see El Paso growing. We're getting deep into the playoffs. It's exciting to see every year.
Jason, I know you already mentioned 2nd year back. Last year was a fun one. Let's start this off. Just what was something from last year that you noticed that you're looking forward to seeing this year again here in El Paso?
Sam, there's a lot of underclassmen that make it very exciting. And the good thing is that there's running backs, quarterbacks, their offensive guys. I'm excited to see what they're going to bring in 2023.
Ed, let's get into a little bit of our district previews. Obviously, District 1 6A, I think across the state of Texas, is a little bit known for how difficult it is. You start in week 3 with your district season because there's so many teams, 9 teams in that district. What are you looking for from that district? Obviously, Pebble Hills won it last year and brings a lot back, but Eastwood and Franklin seem to be pretty solid as well.
Yeah, and for me, it's a toss-up. But you look at the teams in the 6A, the teams that are going to do really well are teams that have veteran quarterbacks. You look at Pebble Hills and Gael Ochoa. He's a returning veteran. Shea Smith. You have Evan Mijares from Eastwood. Look for all of those teams to really do well when they make their run this year in 6A.
Obviously, Jason, in Class 5A, we have 2 divisions here, 5A Division 1, 5A Division 2. In that big 5A district, Del Valle has kind of been the powerhouse for a long time. Do you see anybody challenging them in Division 1? And then in 5A Division 2, Canutillo has reigned supreme over the last couple of years. Who might be challenging them this year?
Yeah, that's a good question, Colin. In Division 1, I don't really see too much of a challenge for Del Valle. They got a brand new quarterback coming up. Jesse Ramos left. So it's going to be a challenge for that team. But in Division 2, listen, Canutillo does a great job getting prepared every year. But Chapin this year is saying, hold on one second, because we got our team, young team, up and coming this year.
Yeah, and obviously Davion Singleton leading that Chapin team. In Class 4A, Riverside has reigned supreme for the last couple of years. I think we all agree it's probably going to be them, but maybe Austin, Bowie, perhaps Irvin can challenge them, Clint and Mountain View in a very tough district with some more Permian Basin teams. We'll see if they can maybe challenge Favens as well. Sam, also some exciting players on the high school gridiron this year too.
Just like every year, I think the Sun City keeps on bringing up the talent level. Last year was awesome. This year, even better. I'll ask this to you first, Ed. Just what kid are you most excited to see this year on the gridiron?
It's hard to single out one, but when I think back to the end of last season and beating Odessa Permian here in El Paso, Gael Ochoa has led his team. I'm excited for his senior year.
Jason?
You know what? Listen, there's a lot of great players coming up, but Ray Estrada, he is just somebody that you do not come around every year. 1,100 yards last year. I think he's going to do a little bit better.
El Dorado kid, too.
I know, that was a bit hard for me to say, Sam.
Don't get him started. We'll be here all day if he gets Sam started. We talked about some guys that are known commodities. Ed and Jason, what about maybe a kid who's an unknown commodity, an upcoming senior, maybe an upcoming junior, maybe it's a sophomore that isn't known around the city, but by the end of the year will be?
Yeah, well, for me, that's an easy choice. It's Lalo Carrillo from Canutillo. We saw what his brother could do last year as a senior. That bloodline is strong. Look for Lalo. He's going to be on both sides of the ball, helping Canutillo get that district championship.
Colin, I like Jordan Morales. I like the running back from Franklin. He had a great year last year. I think this year he's going to be his year where he hits 1,000 yards, balances out that offense for Shea. And Franklin, hey, watch out for them.
Yeah, that offensive line was a little start and go last year. It seems like they've really tooled that up and they could be a team. So Sam, let's get into it. The moment everybody's been waiting for.
Great players, great teams. right? That's a given. Team-wise, Ed, just what team do you have the highest expectations for this year?
I'm going to throw a little wrinkle in here. I've already mentioned Pebble Hills. Don't discount Eastwood Troopers. They're a troop this year.
Pebble Hills and Eastwood.
Make sure you get that on camera.
On record.
Yeah,
Jason?
Sam, I like Chapin. I feel like they're fully loaded this year. I think they have all the weapons on offense. Defensively, they're there. I think they're going to make a great run this year.
Davion Singleton, as a sophomore, can he get it done?
Absolutely.
All right.
And then we saw him. He put on a ton of muscle.
He did. He did.
put
So
on
did Ryan Estrada.
Yeah, I mean, these kids are going to be excited to watch and everything, so it should be fun.
Yeah, we cannot wait to get started with 9 Overtime. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Can't wait for the season. This is your crew on Friday nights in the fall. Do not miss 9 Overtime every Friday, 10:15 p.m. Andy Morgan will be back for our game of the week as well. We'll be right back after this break with more on our 9 Overtime Borderland football preview.
Thanks for watching Studio 9.
Don't forget to catch all your highlights on 9 Overtime. We're talking about the top players, teams, and coaches in the Sun City.
Every Friday night at 10:15.
Welcome back to the Studio 9 Ultimate Football Guide Borderland football preview for the 2023 season. Do not forget to tune in to 9 Overtime every single Friday night at 10:15 p.m. only on KTSM. Sam, I'm so ready for football.
I know, it's been a great show, and it just makes me want to get the football season even quicker, and it's right around the corner. We've gone through UTEP, New Mexico State, took a look at the high school level. Really exciting stuff ahead, but now it's the moment everyone's been waiting for. We're going to introduce our Fine 9 of the best high school football players in the Borderline.
And this one was really hard to pick. So many kids with Division I offers already heading into the season. A couple of guys already committed to play at the Division I level, and that is where we will begin with the first guy on our list. A man you might know, he was on our Fine 9 a season ago. It's Pebble Hills quarterback Gael Ochoa. He enters his senior season already committed to play for the UTEP Miners. He threw for over 2,000 yards and 24 touchdowns last season, only 3 interceptions, and he can do it as a dual threat runner as well. He led the Spartans to their first District 1 6A championship and the area round of the playoffs in 2022. Like I said, verbally committed to UTEP. They think he could be the quarterback of the future for the Miners.
Sticking with the quarterback theme, you've got to throw in Shea Smith from Franklin. Entering his senior year as well, had a stellar year in 2022, threw over 2,500 passing yards and rushed for over 1,000 yards. 45 total touchdowns, and predicted to be one of the best athletes in the entire state of Texas, according to Dave Campbell's Texas Football. So we got to keep an eye out for him at Franklin there.
Next up on our Fine 9, Bel Air senior wide receiver / defensive back Chris Davis. 57 catches, 1,084 yards, 10 touchdowns offensively last year. He also had 42 tackles on the defensive side of the football for a very surprising 8-3 Bel Air team in 2022 that figures to be potentially even better this time around. He's got an offer from Eastern New Mexico. UTEP is also sniffing around, he says. We'll see if he gets any more Division I interest as the season goes on.
Sticking on the defensive end, John Sierra from Centennial High School plays linebacker. 90 tackles last season, 50 of them taken under his own wing. 22 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble during his junior year at Centennial. Has a Division I offer from the New Mexico Lobos, so I know a lot of schools will be paying attention to that in his senior year at Centennial.
We'll take it now to our first underclassman of the show, Manny Fuller, an athlete, running back, safety. He does it all for Del Valle. Junior rushed for 435 yards, 8 touchdowns on just 37 carries in 8 games a season ago, 17 total tackles and an interception defensively. But he's really taken off in the summer, gone to a few camps. Mr. Fuller has offers from both UTSA and Texas Tech. So those schools taking notice. You got to think a couple others will very soon. Del Valle picked to win District 1 5A Division I by Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Manny Fuller will be a big reason why if they do.
Next up, Evan Minhares, the quarterback out of Eastwood High School, also entering his senior year, threw over 2,700 passing yards, rushed for over 1,000 yards, and had a total of 48 touchdowns in 2022. Big reason why Eastwood had a ton of success last year. 9-3 record, made it to the area round. Also has a Division I offer from FCS school Austin P. So Evan will be looking to build off a really big year in 2023.
Canutillo has been represented on the Fine Nine by L.J. Martin the last couple of years. They are represented once again by the Eagles defensive back / linebacker T.J. Lachlan, a junior in the class of 2025. Really came on strong as a sophomore, his first year on varsity a season ago, and helped them make the regional semifinals. 5'11", 197 pounds. Projects as a probably defensive back at the next level, but plays linebacker for the Eagles. 82 total tackles last year and 1 interception as a sophomore.
Now this is where the list gets really interesting. We're talking about it right now. This might be the first time in recent memory that we've had a sophomore make the Fine Nine. And I'm talking about Ryan Estrada, the running back out of El Dorado. One of the best high schools in Texas. No, just kidding. Ryan Estrada, great year in his freshman stint at El Dorado. Ran for 1,300 yards on 127 carries, had 13 touchdowns. Also a threat over the air, caught 23 passes for 280 yards and 4 touchdowns. Has racked up quite a lot of Division I offers. UTEP, UTSA, SMU, Baylor, and Texas Tech all on that list. Aztecs did miss the playoffs last year, but with Ryan Estrada coming back and a whole lot of guys for the Aztecs, Ryan Estrada and the Aztecs expect to be a good threat this year.
Ryan Estrada, sophomore on our Fine Nine, closing out the Fine Nine, yet another sophomore. You might know who it is. Davion Singleton, an athlete from Chapin High School. Again, as sophomore, 1,600 total yards last year, 731 passing, 902 rushing, and 23 total touchdowns. Selected as the District 1-5A Division II preseason MVP by Dave Campbell's. Also has some Division I offers, including SMU and Hawaii, does Mr. Singleton, so he could have a big year for Chapin this year. That's the 2023 Fine Nine. We're so excited to see all these kids play, excited to see UTEP, New Mexico State, all of our high schools. For Sam Guzman, I'm Colin Teever. Be sure to watch 9 Overtime, 10:15 p.m. every Friday, and don't forget to pick up the Ultimate Football Guide magazine at our Game of the Week. That's our show. We'll see you out on the field.